Okay. Rita.
Yes, teacher.
Yeah.
To know the strategic area where to conduct a business.
Okay, thank you very much. To know the strategic area where to carry out
Community.
business. Patrick. Patrick.
To know what people need.
Okay, Noah.
In the community.
Pardon, Noah. Yeah, some are asking me about the question. The question was benefits of conducting a market survey, or importances of conducting a market survey. Okay, Mercy.
To find out the possibility of
Find out the possibility
expanding the market.
Thank you so much. The possibility of expanding the market. Thank you, Gertrude. Our last person, Gertrude. Okay, Ruth, our last person. Ruth. Gertrude, I still see your hand up. Okay, Ruth.
Teacher, to know a fair price for the product.
To know a fair price for the product. Thank you so much. It means that you attentively attended the class last time. So at this juncture, we are going to look at conducting a market survey. So after knowing how, now we are going to look at how you can go about conducting a market survey. Conducting a market survey. So by the end of the lesson, you at least 3 steps you have to follow if you are to conduct a market survey. So be attentive. You've been positioned to give me at least 3 steps in conducting a market survey. You'll be in position to define the questionnaire. So we shall look at the questionnaire. Then 3 tips of conducting a market survey. So if you are to conduct a market survey, what tips are you supposed to put into consideration? Okay, conducting a market survey. Carrying out a market survey involves collecting and using market information in order to determine the market for the products of the business. Also, may find that you can get to know the service market survey based information. And the reason why you go for such information, that information helps you to determine the market for the products. Will your products be in position to have market? Will you have customers to buy your products? Because you may find that it is always important in a business to ensure that the goods, the products you are going to have on the market, you'll be in position to have customers buying them. So you may find that conducting market survey, it is the same as conducting market research. So you go out and make research whether the products you are going to produce, they'll be in position to have market. Then we look at steps in conducting a market survey. So you may find that step number 1, selecting the product. So if you go out to carry out market survey, you have to ensure that in one way or the other, you select the product, which product you are going to base on when you are conducting a market survey. Which product do you want to ensure that it will have customers? Because it matters a lot. You cannot just go in the field when you have not determined which product you are looking at. For example, you are at home right now. If the product you want to put on the market is liquid soap, so you have to ensure that in one way or the other, you select that I'm going to be producing liquid soap. Then what you have to do is to move around to ensure that you will be in position to get customers for such a product. Or you may decide that for me, I'm going to produce snacks, half cakes, daddies. Then what you have to do is to go in the field and find out whether those products you are going to produce will be in position to have market for them. Then step number 2, choosing the target area. So what does it mean? You look at an area where you are going to concentrate in regards to selling your products. Then that is an area where you are supposed to conduct your market survey to see that actually those people will be in position to buy your products. For example, where you are, you can look at your LC1 area, your LC1 zone, and you try to see whether those people within that zone will be in position to buy your product. So that is the second step which you have to consider, choosing the target area. There is someone having the hand up. Let me try to see who is putting up the hand. Smart. Any question? Yeah, try to rename yourself because you are using the name of the phone. Any question? Any question?
Good afternoon, teacher. I've just joined this week because I had missed some.
Do you have any question?
Yes.
Okay, which question?
I have not understood very well on a market survey. Why do we need a market survey?
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for asking such a question. So someone is asking, why should we have a market survey? As I told you from the start, that a market survey is all about going in the field and you find out who your customers will be, which people are going to buy your products. Because you may find that in one way or the other, if you are to produce particular products, you have to go out and identify which people will be in position to buy your product. Will those people be in position to support you in your business? Because if you find out that in actual sense, you don't have people who are going to buy your product, therefore it is not advisable to produce such a product. So what you have to do is to ensure that you go out and find out whether you will be in position to have customers to buy your product. So you may find that in one way or the other, that is the reason why a market survey is conducted. So we have looked at basically now 2 steps which you are supposed to consider. Number 1, selecting the product. Then number 2, choosing the target area, basically where you wish to sell your product. I see Treasure's hand is up. Let me ask Treasure to have his input. Treasure, what is your question? Treasure? 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 Raguha? 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 Any question? Okay, nachitende. Nachitende. Nachitende, any question? Nachitende. Okay, let me proceed. Then number 3, select the appropriate method to use. So you may find that when you are carrying out a market survey, there are so many methods you can use. One of the methods I can talk about is observation. So in the field, and as well, you are in position to collect information by looking out people in the particular area. Then that one will help you to see and listen at the same time. Study how people actually so much in need of a particular product. So you may find that in one way or the other, if you find that people in a particular area are not using a particular product, then you may find that that product you want to bring on the market as a substitute, as another good, will not be in position to work out. Or you can also use a questionnaire. So we are going to look at a questionnaire anytime, so that you get to know actually what people feel about a particular product, to get to know whether people have ever used such a product, to know how those people will be in position to have that product, at what price. So those are some of the methods you can use when you are to conduct a market survey. Then number 4, develop the data about the price. So you go out within the community. As I've told you, in one way or the other, you may find that people expect to spend a particular amount of money on a given good. Therefore, it gives you a chance to know which price those people can manage. Nachitende, I can see one up because I want all of us to be at the same level. Nachitende, any question?
Trying to ask what I market survey.
Be audible enough. Nachitende, be audible enough.
Cha, I was asking what a survey is. A market survey is.
Okay, Macarena. 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 Sorry for that. The challenge has been network failure, but thank God I'm back. Let me again share my screen with you. So far we have looked at basically four steps as regards to conducting a market survey. Therefore, we have so far those four steps which we are going to supplement on, Yeah, some of you, your hands are up, but you may find that you do not respond. So I'm going to request that I'll give you time to ask. So I was on step number 4, develop the data about the price. So in one way or the other, you will have to ensure that you will be in position to get information as regards to the price. So here you have to ensure that the price you are going to determine that is not so high, and at the same time it is not so low, operate at losses. Then as well, if the price is so high with you have a competitor selling a bottle of mineral water in which he packs liquid soap. So what you have to do is that if the competitor sells it at only 1,000, so for you, what you have to do is that you try your level best in order to reduce the price, at least to ensure that the price is slightly lower than that one of the competitor. Because for you are new in the market and you want to attract buyers. So what you have to do is to ensure that at least the price is slightly low. For example, 900. Therefore, people will be in position to buy your product because for it is slightly, the price is slightly lower than that one of the competitor. Then number 5, analyzing the market strategy which can be used. So when you have a product, in one way or the other, you have to find out the people who are going to buy. But how will you reach those people? How will those people get information about your product? So what you can do, you can look at ways you are going to promote your product. Are you going to advertise using our local radio stations? Because you may find that we have some arrangements in our places, which you may find that people get information through such systems. We tend to call local radio stations. For example, there is one they call Radio Cafe. Are you going to use such to advertise your product, or you are going to carry out what they call a personal selling, moving door to door when you are selling your products? So you look out which strategy will help you customers to get to know about your products, to get to know what you have on board, to get to know that indeed now you are engaged in producing some items. Then number 6, assessing the feasibility and the visibility of the product. So here you look at how useful a show to people in a particular community, people whom you want to buy that product, or it will not be useful. You have also to look at the capability of the product to satisfy the customer's needs. So you have to make sure that at least you try your level best to look at add some value to customers needs, which are so much considered when you are to conduct a market survey. Therefore, those steps you have to look at them in a systematic way, so that to ensure that you do not mess up with anything, because you are going to be requested to conduct a market survey. Therefore, to ensure that you collect your data effectively and efficiently, you have to use such steps. Mark, I can see your hand up. If I can move to the next slide. Mark.
I wasn't there when you are explaining the first point. I wasn't there when you're explaining the first point. Teacher.
Okay.
Teacher.
Okay. Noreen? 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 So Noreen, I try to unmute you, but you do not respond. So I'm requesting that once I call upon you, try to act positively. Okay, Patrick. Patrick. Mark. Patrick.
Not understood the first.
Which one? Pardon?
I have not understood the first point.
I haven't understood the first point.
So the first point is
The
all
fourth.
about.
I haven't understood the first point.
Which is all about determining, developing the data collected about the price. So when you look at that fourth step, the fourth step is all about developing the data collected about the product. So when you look at that one, when you look at the fourth step, here it is all about coming up with a price which will be fair. So when it comes to data collected, you have to ensure that that information you have collected helps you to come up with a proper price for the product. I've given you an example that if you are going to engage in selling a quick soap, so you have to look out how competitors price. So you may find that a competitor may have a jerrycan, 5 liters of liquid soap, selling that jerrycan at 15,000. So for you, after determining that a competitor or competitors are selling a jerrycan for 5 liters of liquid soap at 15,000, then for you, you will have to ensure that the price for a 5-liter jerrycan of liquid soap is at around 13,000. So that information which you have got help you to come up with a price which will be fair to your customers. Then someone was asking about point number 5, analyzing the market strategy. So analyzing the market strategy, it means the method you are going to use when you are trying to look out for the market of your product. How will your customers or how will people in the community get to know about your product? Are you going to move door to door telling people about your product, about how good your product is, about how your product is priced? So you have to look out for a method of marketing your product. Which method will be appropriate? Which method will be effective? Which method will help people to get to know about your product? So we move to another slide. When it comes to preparing a market survey, so when you are to collect information, if you are preparing yourself, information needed to start the survey. Which information do you need? Where to obtain the information required? So you have to determine which area you are going to get information from. I gave you an example. If you are going to produce a particular product, basically you have to start where you are. If you have identified a problem in your place, in your community, therefore you have to ensure that that is where you are going to start. In your LC1, that community, those people surrounding you. So you may find that you consider that that is where you are going to start. Then another one, the amount of time required. So if you are going to carry out a survey, you have to determine what time will it be effectively done. Are you going to work for 7 hours, 6 hours, or you are going to work for reasonable days, or you are going to work for the whole month? Because with the market survey, indeed, you have to ensure that you get the information effectively and efficiently to ensure that you narrow down to the last person who will be in position to buy your product. Then thirdly, how much money will you need? So when you are moving out, indeed, however much you are going to conduct the survey by yourself alone, you have to determine the amount of money you are going to use when you go outside there. Because if you are going to use questionnaires, you have to know how many photocopy, how much is it going lunch, are you going to have breakfast from the field? Therefore, you have to determine the amount of money you will need. Then number 4, the methods you will use to gather information. So which methods are you going to use when you are going to conduct a market survey? Because all that, it is so important to ensure that at least there is a method which you are going to use to gather information, because it will not be easy to just go in the field when you have not determined methods you are going to use. Members, I'm going to ask you to put up your hands and at least you tell me actually some of the, you are going to tell me some of the information. If you are going to conduct a survey, what are some of the things you will need, because I've looked at least 4 of them where you are going to obtain the information, the amount of time you are going to require, how much money you will need, the methods you will use to gather information. So what are some of them you are going to consider? Already some answer up. Patrick.
A guide if you are new to in a society.
Pardon?
A guide if you are new in the society.
A guide if you are new in the society. Yeah, that is so good, because in one way or the other, if you do not know the place very well, you need someone who will assist you when you are moving from one place to another. That is great. Gertrude. What are you supposed to consider when you are going out to carry out a market survey? Gertrude? Yeah, someone is saying security. Yeah, Martha, thank you so much. If people are hostile, yeah, so you may find that if you are not so much well conversant with the security in the place where you are going, at least you have to ensure that in one way or the other, you tighten your security. So you can move at least with 2 people, or you can as well move with 3 people in order to ensure that you carry out your survey in an appropriate way. Tina?
The network of the area.
The network? Why should you consider the network?
Like, you should know that the place has like good communication network, well-developed roads for easy transportation of products.
Aha. So Gertrude, thank you so much. So because you may find that in one way or the other we use phones so much, and you may find that specifically,
Welcome, teacher.
yeah, you need always be on the phone. For example, you are in a place, you may find that you are a little bit confused. You can use the Google Maps to help you to allocate the place. Harris is saying, good road. Thank you for that input. Vivian.
An interpreter in case in the area they can't understand the language you speak.
Thank you very much. So you may move out in a place whereby those people, the language they use, you are not well conversant with that language. Therefore, you may need someone to interpret for you. That is good. Thank you so much, Nora. Yeah, Abdallah is
Climate
saying,
of the area.
Climate of the area. Yeah, so you may find that nowadays, the season we are within, so we can say at least weather conditions. So you have to ensure that you are well conversant with the weather condition within a particular period of time, so that you move out when as well you have gadgets, or you have attires which will help you to handle such situations. Then Harris is saying transportation services. Yeah, that one matters a lot, actually, which means can you easily use in that particular area? Thank you very much, Patrick, as well as the interpreter. We have already talked about that. That is great. Mark? Availability of market. Yeah, before you find out that market is available, you go to make research about market. what are you supposed to put into consideration when you are preparing? When you are preparing to go out in the field, what aspects are you supposed to put into consideration? Angel. 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 Okay, Faith. Faith. Anytime we'll be moving out, what aspects are you supposed to consider?
Security in the community. Security in the community.
Pardon?
Good sanitation.
Security.
Good sanitation.
Good sanitation. Yeah, it matters a lot because you may find that some places are not so fine hygienically. Therefore, you have to make sure that if you are putting on some yes, you put on get challenges like so such is so important. So then we move on to the methods for collecting market information. Some of the methods we have looked at one of them as interviewing the correspondents. So you can interview the correspondents. Here it can be under observation. So under observation, you can look at people, how they try to use certain products. Then you can ask them questions as well. They can respond to you. So in one way or the other, observation as well as trying to ask some questions will help you when you are carrying out research. Then we have data collection methods. Some of them can be like the usage of a questionnaire. So a questionnaire is a document with a list of questions where you can ask people to complete by themselves, or as well, you can assist those people when they are answering that questionnaire. So you may find that a questionnaire can as well will help you when you are conducting a market survey. Questionnaire will help you when you are doing that work. So we look at some of the tips when you are conducting a market survey. If you go outside there to conduct a market survey, what aspects are you supposed to look at? Aspect number one, you have to be patient and persistent. What does it mean? It means that in one way or the other, you have to be patient with the people. You have to wait. So you may find that someone is busy, but you want information from such a person. Therefore, if a person tells you, at least give me some minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, please be patient. And in one way or the other, persist on what you want. So if you want to collect information from such a person, so you wait, be patient. Then, in one way or the other, it will help you to get information you want. Then, number two, record information immediately after visits. So if you go back, you have to ensure that immediately you put down what you are in position to collect. So that one goes hand in hand with preparing a report. So coming back from the field, automatically sit down and make a report. Or you write down the findings. Then number three, if you are talking to competitors, possess potential. If you are talking to competitors, possess as a potential customer. So if you are in the field and you find out fellow competitors, so what you have to do is that you have to try your level best to ensure that you are in position to show that you are a potential customer. However, you also want to introduce your own products onto the market, but your competitors, for them, you show them that indeed you are a potential customer. So I would like you people to put up your hands and tell me other tips you have to consider when you are engaging yourself in a market survey. Someone is saying, be kind. So in one way or the other, you have to be kind when actually you are carrying out a market survey. A person who may need some little bit of assistance, you try to assist that person, because for you, your aim is to get appropriate information. So you have to be kind to see that you can fit within the shoes of that particular person. Angel, some of the tips when conducting a market survey: you go out in the field, opportunity seeking. So you have to take any chance. So if you find some people who have information, don't scare away. Don't be scared away. Reach out to those people and ask them the information you want. Someone has said, friendly. So try to show that you are not having any problem with such people. So you try to be friendly. Being unrude, don't be rude. Do you understand? Don't try to react in an awful way. So you try to show that actually for you, you are calm. Are we there? Angel, your hand is up. Yeah, Faith is saying stay calm. So you may find that a person may respond to you in an awkward way. So for you, what you have to do is to stay calm. Even it assists us in our day-to-day lives to stay calm, how to retaliate. Then another one is saying, be gentle. Yeah, so if you go outside there, show that you are a gentle person. Even the code of dressing has to show that you are gentle. Someone is saying, be confident when questioning. So be straightforward as regards to what information you need. So you are supposed to ensure that you are confident. You ask someone when actually you are firm, when you want some information to be answered to you.
Teacher.
Yes, someone is requesting for the previous slide. Yeah, let me try to have it as we are giving, you are giving me some of the tips. Achitende?
Yes, teacher.
Yeah, another tip.
Teacher, you're supposed to control your anger.
You are supposed to control your anger. Yeah, that one we have looked at it as remaining calm.
Yes.
Yeah, someone talking about knowing what you want to investigate. Yeah, you go there when you know what actually you want to get in terms of information. Are you there? Yeah.
Yes.
Patrick. Patrick. Okay, Nina.
You don't have to ignore an idea given to you.
So you have to pretend as if you are welcoming each idea given to you. Thank you very much. Andrew?
You must be a good time manager. You must be a good time manager.
Yeah, as an entrepreneur, you have to embrace that issue of keeping time, because you know the time we are going to use. Therefore, you are supposed to ensure that you manage your time very well. Even in our day-to-day lives, we have to manage our time very well. Yeah. So, Rich, Shabra. Pardon? Shabra. Lex. Okay. So another thing, you have to be respectful. So you have to respect the people you have found there. So in one way or the other, presenting a market survey information after gathering them, and then prepare the finding, guide you in preparing and writing when actually you are done with your market survey. The information you have gathered will help you when preparing a business plan if you are to start having the business. So you may find that the assignment I'm going to give you, you are going to go and download. You are going to go to Google Chrome, download a questionnaire, which questionnaire you are going to use to carry out a market survey for the product you want to come up with. Then afterwards, you will have to scan your questionnaire, which has been filled. Then that questionnaire is the one which I'm going to use when to award you marks. So I'm going to request that in one way or the other, you try to download a questionnaire. So which questionnaire you are going to use to gather information concerning a product you want to produce, so that you will be in position afterwards to scan it properly, and then you send it to me. So ensure that you carry out research within the neighborhood. Don't go very far away. Neighborhood, go to 5 or 10 people around within, so that you are in position to scan that questionnaire. Then I will mark that one and I will award you marks. Because after a survey, you will be in position to have a business plan, which plan will help you to show you that the business is profitable enough. So ensure that you are in position to do that. Then another issue is that we are marking the end of our lessons. Therefore, I will request that we will always continue have work, which work we are going to have on our platform for Christian Schools Owners Association. So you go to the YouTube and you subscribe to have more lessons, which as well shall be in position upload. So I'd like to thank Edify, Christian Schools Owners Association, and also IC Teachers Association for such an arrangement to ensure that you people have lessons however much you are at home. So let me request Mr. Charles to share some words with you. Mr. Charles, Ms. Toto, Ms. Toto, Mr. Charles, Mr. Charles, Yeah, some people are having their hands up. You can ask. Yeah. Patrick, ask. Patrick, you can ask. Timothy, I can see your hand up. Timothy.
Teacher, you say the market today.
Please be audible.
Go to the Google Classroom.
Pardon?
I'm asking for the code to the Google Classroom.
The code, the Google
Yes.
Classroom, you are going to have that code in your WhatsApp group for the class, senior 1.
Okay.
Yeah, senior 1. Another person, Patrick. Patrick, any question? Patrick, any question? Nachitende.
Yes, teacher.
Nachitende.
Yes, teacher.
Nachitende.
Yes, teacher. I was asking
Mase.
that.
Mase.
Yes, teacher. Teacher, we have not understood the activity.
Mase. Okay, let me ask any person to give us a closing.
Hello, teacher. Teacher.
People have already left. Yeah, now 77. From 104 to 77.
Teacher.
What are you saying?